Hey guys, welcome to Hook with Anime. If you like the video, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Let's begin. Chapter 8, Nation of Sadala, Uzumaki Compound. As Satsuki was having a family reunion with her mother and older brother, Naruto arrives at the Uzumaki compound with bandages after his friends helped him get back to normal the Saiyan way, by fighting. As he enters the compound, he notices his mother was there. "Mom," he said, "what are you doing here?" he said with a scowl, showing he wasn't ready to deal with her. Kushina looking at Naruto and noticing the bandages on him. "Sui, Naruto, what happened to you?" she said, knowing it would take years to repair what she and Minato did to him. Naruto taking a deep breath. "My friends and the instructors noticed that I was off during practice after seeing Dad, and the real reason why I was banished, so they sanctioned a 4-on-1 fight to help me get through that mess, and this, showing the bandages, was the result," Naruto said as he made his way past her. "I'm sorry, Naruto. I know those words can't make up for everything me and your father did, and is for the clan banishing me. I deserve it for breaking the core idea of the clan, never abandon family. I know it will take years to fix what happened to our family because of our stupid plan to protect you. We should have told you about it, and for that I'm sorry," Kushina said as she fought the tears that was coming out. "You should have. Maybe we could have thought of a better plan, like faking my death. At least that way everything thinks I'm dead and have no reason to come looking for me just to get back at the leaf. But there's nothing we can do to change the past, only move forward, and hopefully we can fix what happened, but till then it'll be best to give me some space for now," Naruto said as he entered the main building and saw Nat there waiting for him, but didn't say anything to him but moved aside for him to enter. As soon as Naruto was out earshot, Kushina turned around. "My Maelstrom has grown this year, he's beginning to look more like his father," she said as she let the tears out. "He does, but he's got his mother's temper, and your heart as well, sister," Nat said as she gave Kushina another hug to help her. "Come now, I'll take you back to the inn. You've got that meeting tomorrow, okay?" Nat said, getting an acceptance nod from Kushina. The inn. Kushina arrived at the inn with Nat and saw Makoto and Itachi nearby with smiles on their faces. "How was the meeting with Satsuki, Makoto?" Kushina said as she stopped crying. She was nervous at first, but her friend Khalifa helped bring her out of it. "How was Naruto?" she said, noticing Kushina's red eyes. "He didn't kick me like he did with his father, but that could be because of the bandages, but there's hope we can fix what me and Minato did. We just need to give him space is all," Kushina said. "Bandages? Oh right, Satsuki said that she and her friends helped one of their friends who was having issues. I guess it was Naruto," Itachi said. "It's to know he has friends that care for him," Kushina said, sobbing a bit at the end. "Come on now, let's get you in," Makoto said as she escorted her friend to their room just as Tsunade arrived at the inn. "Lady Tsunade, how was the reunion with the Senju?" Nat said. "They're a fun bunch to hang out. Reminds me of my grandfather and uncle." "How did the reunion go with Naruto?" Tsunade asked. "Not as violent he had with his father, but then again I think he was exhausted after school, but I think he's hoping to mend what happened to him, which is good," Nat said, getting a nod from Tsunade. "That's good to hear. Eagle, how was the Hyugas?" she said, looking at Eagle, who was off wanting to see just how different the Hyugas were in Sadala than Konoha. "They are more cheerful than back home, and seeing that they have separated from us, they have learned to use ninjutsu and genjutsu in their training. I was surprised that when they left the clan they didn't bring a copy of the Gentle Fist with them, but they said they wanted to start fresh from the old ways," Eagle said. "Don't blame them from wanting to start fresh, and them learning other techniques other than the Gentle Fist is pretty smart of them." "Snake, how was your day? Learn anything?" Tsunade said as Snake came up to the inn alongside Eagle. "Well, I did learn other than the barren deserts being used for training in mock battles, is that on the other side of the continent is rich in green, so they use that for farming, and further away from there is very little green, so they use that land for survival training, teaching them to live of the land with very few supplies," Snake said, getting a nod from Tsunade. "So they got farmlands, lots of ground for training for battles and survival. What about you, Kakashi? What did you learn?" Tsunade as she saw Kakashi reading his book. "Well, I learned that next year Naruto will be learning how to control the giant ape, and once he does that he official graduates and becomes a warrior. Also Saiyans can sense chakra and can form barriers around themselves. Oh right, they can launch what they call Energy. Balls that explode on contact, it's like they miniaturize the tailed beast ball. Kakashi said. Anything else to report? Tsunade said. Let me think. Ah yes, this. Energy. They use works like chakra, they can use it to increase their strength, speed and reflexes, so that makes them a race of might guys without the spandex and the vocabulary problems. Everyone shivered at the thought of 9,000 might guys in green spandex shouting, flames of youth, running around the Leaf Village. For the love of Kami, someone get me some sake right now so that I can forget that horrifying thought, Tsunade said. The morning. The inn. Everyone woke up feeling slightly groggy as they drank away the horrifying thought they had yesterday, well, everyone except for Lady Tsunade, who used her creation rebirth to nullify the drinking she did. Lady Tsunade, how are you doing this morning? Aikika said. I'm doing fine, thank you. Not sure about everyone else though, Tsunade said as she looked around and saw everyone looking like crap. Bunch of lightweights, she said, getting glares from everyone. You're the one with the cure to a hangover, slug queen, everyone thought to themselves. Right, the meeting is to begin in 3 hours, plenty of time to eat and to wake yourselves up, Aikika said. 2.5 hours later. That's much better, Kushina said. Definitely. Is everyone ready? Makoto said, getting nods from everyone before turning to Aikika. Alright then, let's get this alliance sorted, Makoto said. Sadala's administration building. Sadala's council office is located near the Shinobi's Academy for Sadala Future Shinobi. Normally the Warriors Academy would be on the opposite side, but due to Saiyan's destructive training regime, as was best decided to move it near the barren deserts. Any Saiyan child that wishes to become a warrior must go to the Shinobi Academy first so that they can tap into their power and learn how to fly so that they can reach the actually academy to begin their training. The council office is actually called the administrative building, where all matters related to Sadala is discussed, from farming, housing arrangements to trade agreements, and seeing that this was the first ever alliance Sadala has ever done, it was decided to discuss the arrangements in the council office room. As Aikika led the group to the room to discuss the alliance, the group was being watched by the students of the academy, as this was the first time outsiders have been in Sadala. Look, there they are, student number 1 said. So that's they group from Konoha, the second oldest village. They look strong, student number 2 said. I know, right, but the blonde one looks the strongest, student number 3 said. Of course she is, that's Lady Tsunade, the slug Sanin. Her slugs can heal hundreds of people at once. Not only that, but there isn't any poison she hasn't made an antidote, student number 2 said. Don't forget her super strength thanks to her diamond seal she developed. That's one punch you want to avoid, student number 1 said. It's called Strength of 100 Seal, and only those with perfect chakra control can reach it, and so far no one has except for the slug Sanin, student number 2 said. Nice to know my reputation has spread so far, Tsunade said as she enjoyed the compliments and facts they said about her. Oh, what about the gray-haired one? Student number 1 said. The group stopped for a minute to look at each other, and who was the gray? They immediately looked at Kakashi, who felt an arrow hit him with the word, gray hairs. You mean the one who covering up the wrinkles except for that one eye? Student number 3 said as Kakashi got hit with another arrow that said, wrinkles. Don't know him, he looks old from how he dresses, student number 2 said as Kakashi fell over as another arrow hit him with the word, old. Tsunade and the group, hearing this, laughter out loud at Kakashi misfortune. Now kids, that's Kakashi the Sharingan, student of the 4th Hokage, the teacher said, getting the students' attention to him. Isn't that right, Kakashi? The teacher said as the students looked out of the window but saw Kakashi on the windowsill looking at them with a dark aura coming out of him. The students, seeing this, backed away in fear except for the teacher, who had an idea. I think this will be a good idea for you kids to learn how to evade an enemy that is trying to catch you. Mr. Kakashi, would you like to be the hunter in this lesson? The teacher said with an evil smile. Oh, I would love to. Let me check if I can though, Kakashi said, getting some sighs of relief from some of the kids. Go ahead, brother. Normally it would be one of our shinobis that does it, but I think they wouldn't mind it this time, right guys? Aikika said, getting a thumbs up from the shadows. You go and have fun, Kakashi, we'll be fine, Tsunade said. Great. Looks like Kakashi gets to have all the fun, Itachi said. As the students heard this, their moment of peace disappeared as Kakashi's head turned back to them. "Oh, this is going to be a fun day for me then," he said with an evil eye smile. "All right Kakashi, after 5 minutes you get to hunt the class and bring them back to this room, and for the students you got to the end of the day to evade Kakashi, have fun," the teacher said with an evil smile as the students ran out of the room and across the village looking for places to hide. Salada's Council Office. Sadala's council is divided into 3 sections. The first is the military, which is made up of the 4 strongest clans that has the most people into, and another one for the many other clans who don't have enough people for a voice in the council. There was Hina Hyuga, 58 years old, with her hair dark brown and gray hair tied into bun, wearing a dark blue kimono with pink flowers with the Hyuga clan symbol on the back and the standard eye color of the Hyuga, and current clan head and mother of Sora Hyuga and grandmother to Kale Hyuga. Amiko Uchiha, 55 years old, Saiyan, with her long dark hair going down to her shoulders and black eyes, wearing a red and black flower kimono with the Uchiha clan symbol on the back, and current clan head of the Uchihas and has been like a grandmother to Satsuki Uchiha since she was brought to Sadala. Aiki Senju, 63 years old, with his short silver hair and red eyes, wearing a dark green open kimono with the Senju clan symbol on the back, and current clan head to the Senjus and grand uncle to Jin Senju. Nat Uzumaki, 37 years old, with her long red hair tied into a bun and violet eyes, wearing a light blue kimono with the Uzumaki clan symbol on the back, and the youngest to join the council and current clan head of the Uzumaki. Fudo Yuki, 61 years, wearing a light blue kimono with snow flakes on it with the kanji for ice on the back. Even though he serves as the voice for the other clans that resides in Sadala, he is also the clan head of the Yuki clan with 29 members, with a daughter who left the nation to explore the world. That's right folks, Haku isn't the last ice user, and if you Google Haku you'll find out that he is from the Yuki clan. The second section deals with the business side of things and resources, which is maintained by civilians. Even though the vast majority of people living in Sadala were in the military, even they needed farmers to grow food, miners to mine the ores in the mountains, and crafters to make the weapons and armors. They even needed builders to build their homes and any buildings that they needed, and that was why it was decided to let the civilians have a voice in the council. The second section is made up of 2 people who oversee the civilian side of things. The first was Takai Kamizuru, wearing an open black and blue kimono. Despite being born to shinobi clan of bees users, Takai instead became a merchant and helped set up numerous trades with Sadala and outside merchants via Sadala's shinobi forces as the go-between. Because of this, the 49-year-old male helped Sadala's economy and was rewarded a seat on the council. The second was Yasuko Amagumo, who helped manage Sadala's resources such as farming, mining, and even her own clan of spider users whose silk can be strong as steel and light as a feather. The 42-year-old Saiyan female, wearing a pink kimono with black webbing in it, with her long black hair reaching below shoulders. And finally the last section, which had 3 people in it. The first was 39 years old Mais Uchiha, general of Sadala's armada, and her 2 advisors. The first Yuko Fuma, 40 years old, female Saiyan with short spiky black hair, wearing a black sleeveless armor with a golden Sadala symbol on it. The second Yoshito Yatsuki, 39-year-old male Saiyan with shoulder-length black hair with brown roots, wearing red armor with the golden Sadala symbol on it. And this chapter has been a pain in my ass to write. Please don't hate me for how long it took. Finding clans not from Konoha was annoying. The doors opened, allowing the group from Konoha to enter. In front of them was a long table and 7 chairs for them. Please have a seat. I take it Kakashi won't be attending this meeting, Mais said. Sorry, but on the way here some of the students said some things about Kakashi that made him a bit upset, Aikika said, getting giggles of laughter from the Konoha group, which confused the council. So as an apology, the teacher in charge of the class asked Kakashi if he would like to hunt them down as part of their evading capture training, Aikika said, getting smiles from the council. Aw, such good times it was hunting those kids, ha ha ha, Aiki said. You're telling me we had to fight each other just to see who gets to hunt them? Such fun, Fudo said. A shame the Warriors Academy doesn't have that. The only thing we did was to bring down our instructors in teams to show teamwork does bring down stronger opponents when used properly, Mais said. General, Councilman, we can discuss our happy memories of scaring children later, but for now it would be best to get the alliance going as daylight is still burning, Yuko Fuma said. Of course, Lady Tsunade, I take you are authorized on behalf of the Hokage to make this alliance legit, Mais said. Yes, I am General Mais, Tsunade said. Good. First introductions are in order, Mais said as she introduces everyone in the council and their roles. Now that is taken care of, let's get this alliance started, shall we? Mais said, getting a nod from Tsunade. Let's start with the small things done first. First is trade, Mais said as a Sadala shinobi appeared in front of them with a scroll and left it on the table in front of Tsunade, who opened it and began reading it. The trade agreement looks beneficial for both parties, but since it's asking to send trade to some of the villages not in Konoha, I will need to inform the Fire Daimyo to get approval, as the Hokage can only agree to things involving Konoha and the military, and this trade agreement goes beyond Konoha, but I can say that he will agree to it. Tsunade said, getting a nod from Mais. We understand that the Fire Daimyo will get involved in this, as this alliance will reveal ourselves, but we knew for a time now that our secrecy wasn't going to last forever. So this council has decided to reveal ourselves first with some of our ship merchants that we have deals with, and then making an alliance with one of the major nations, which is what we're doing now. Takai said, getting nods from the rest of the council. I see. Are you aware of what might happen if the other major nations notice just how strong yous are? Especially if Kumo finds out that the Hyuga here have no seals on them. They might come after yous or even declare war on yous when they discover the Uzumakis. Are yous prepared to face that when it happens? Tsunade said with concern, but only got nods from the council. Even Nad was nodding to this. Yes, we are prepared. We of the Hyugas on this side of the pond does not limit ourselves with only that gentle fist. For some reason, we branched out and started using other techniques in different fields to increase our arsenal, including learning the sealing arts should our overseas cousins decide to brand us. Hina said, as soon as I tell our council this, I'm pretty sure someone will be saying about damn time, Tsunade said. Now that the trade is almost done, we can move on to the next small detail for this alliance. Resources. Now then, I'm sure you already know just how big Sadala is from the map Jiraiya found when he was investigating, as Mais said, getting a nod from Tsunade. In that case, here is more detailed map showing you where the village is. Mais said as another shinobi came and put down the detailed map for the Konoha group. This map also shows you that the barren wasteland is marked as red. I'm sure some of your group knows why, Mais said as Eagle and Snake nodded as to why. I can see that in front of this village is a vast forest, making a perfect place for your shinobi's forces to defend the village, and that's a lot of mountains behind the village as well, giving yous plenty of ore, and a whole lot of farmland. I can see how yous managed to keep yourselves so well fed. Tsunade said, in regards to our resources, I mean no offense, but we would like to keep how much resources we have a secret if you don't mind that, Mais said. No, I understand. It's always best to keep some information away from others, Tsunade. Thank you. Now for the two main parts of this alliance. Forces. Now then, what is the chances that our forces will be arrested for crossing into your borders in the past? Mais said, knowing that this might be a problem. That depends on what they were doing there, seeing that some of your forces did infiltrate our village, but that was to save the lives of our children who would have died if the head doctor actually did his job and ended their lives when they were born. Then they will not be arrested for that. However, if they came into the village to learn our secrets, then that's another matter. Tsunade said as she saw the faces of some of the councilmen in the room. I take it you've been snooping around our village, she said. Please, who hasn't? That's what shinobis do. They go in another village and gather intel. I'm pretty sure you do that as well, Mais said. Good point. In which case I don't think there would be any problem unless it's clan secrets you managed to get your hands on, Tsunade said, hoping to get some reactions from them but only found them sighing of relief. You can thank you clans that their secrets are well guarded. In fact, the only clan secrets we are interested at the moment is the Uchiha's Mangekyo Sharingan, and that's only to remove a problem next door to us. Mais said. The Mizukage, Tsunade said, getting a nod from Mais. Well then, seeing that Makoto is here to help you with that, then the only issue I see with your forces is their face masks they're wearing, Tsunade said, getting funny looks from the councilmen until they realized what she meant. Oh right, that. You do know that shinobis are warriors that fight in the shadows without anyone knowing they were there. They do not go outside and yell. Fire style. Great fireball jutsu. Seriously, for all you know your opponent could be a water user and he can just nullify your attack. After hearing that, Amiko said. Yeah, I can see what you're getting at with that, Tsunade said, rubbing the bridge of nose at how many times in all the fights Konoha had, they were all saying what their attack was before launching it. Very well, but we'll let our shinobi forces have that choice to remove their masks if they want to, but we will tell them that you requested it, Mais said with a sigh. Thank you. Is there anything else to discuss? Tsunade said. The next part of the agreement, intel, we will share any intel we retrieve with you on the condition that you do the same, Mais said. Agreed, Tsunade. Good. And finally the last part of the alliance. Mais stopped as the last one might break the alliance that was forming. The law regarding Saiyan infants being born in the land of fire, Mais said, getting a serious look from Suand. Yes, that law. Would you be revealing how many Konoha children you've taken from the village? I know it sounds horrible, but you did it to save them, and I'm sure that Konoha Council and the Hokage will try to convince the Fire Daimyo to remove that law, and I'm sure till that happens Konoha will most likely let you take their children rather than have them be killed, but I would like to ask if it's possible that once the law is removed, if the parents want to, can they have their children back? Tsunade said, knowing that it might be difficult if the children preferred to live in Sadala than the Konoha. If they are still young, then yes, but if they are older, we would like to offer them that choice and not force it on them, if that is okay with you, Mais said. I understand, Tsunade said. If there's anything you would like to add to this alliance, Lady Tsunade, please speak, Yoshito said. For now there is nothing, Tsunade said. Then let's get this alliance writing down, shall we? Then we can drink till we get hangovers, Mais said. Absolutely. Also, this will require Minato's signature, but it won't take long to get it, Tsunade said. Don't worry about it. After the hangover I'll head over to Konoha so that we can formally announce this alliance of ours and to answer any questions your council wish to ask. Mais said. Give us a date and we'll set everything up, Tsunade said. Will do. Anyone I need to be careful of, Mais said. Just one person. Danzo Shimura. Chapter 9. Fire Nation. The next day. Hokage office. Minato was busy doing paperwork that his friend Shikaku failed to do. Luckily for Minato, he had made shadow clones that would help with the load. As he was busy doing the paperwork, he felt the ping from one of his kunais and immediately teleported to its location. 5 minutes later. The office was filled with the team that Minato teleported back, with the exception being Makoto, who was staying behind so that she could help break the genjutsu that was placed on the Mizukage. Minato, here's our copy of the treaty. The only thing that it's missing is the Fire Daimyo signature for the trade part, as they want to trade outside of the village. Tsunade said, getting a nod from Minato. Once that's done, some of their shinobi will come here to get a date for it in a few days to let them know to come here to official sign it as well, Tsunade said. Will do. Bore, Minato said, getting an Anbu into the office. Please inform the Fire Daimyo that a new nation is arranging a treaty with us, a nation full of cursed people, and that we need his help in arranging this treaty with them. Minato said, hearing a shock from Bore. You heard me, Bore. There's a nation being run by cursed people, but they prefer to call themselves Saiyans. Go, you have your orders, Minato said, getting a nod from Bore, who left to arrange the meeting. Anything else I need to know about them? He said, looking at the team that came back from Sadala. We managed to get a grasp on how things are done over there, such as how they train their shinobis and warriors, how the Hyugas have branched out into different areas instead of taijutsus, who's on the council over there. We got a more detailed map of their nation, also we know how many warriors they have over there. Tsunade said, as this information was more important than anything else from that nation. I take it it's not good, he said. Minato, they have over 9,000 warriors confirmed, Kushina said, getting a shocked look from Minato. 9,000? How many of them have control over great ape forms? He said, alarmed. It's a requirement that before they graduate they must control that form, Kushina said, as Minato sat down in his chair as he began to realize just how big of military force Sadala was when compared to the other nations on this world. I'll let the council know this. Anything else I need to know? He asked as he took a deep breath to calm himself down. Yes, they're revealing themselves to the rest of the world, first being with the merchants who already are doing trade with them, and then the major nations, with us being the first one, Kushina said. I guess they knew that they can't keep hiding forever, Minato said, getting nods from everyone. All right then, everyone take the next few days off, Minato said as the team left. Kakashi, he said, getting his students' attention. How are you doing after what we've been told in the forest over there, Minato said, getting a saddened look from Kakashi. All those years knowing that I killed Ren have been the worst for me, and now I feel a great weight has left me only to be replaced with something heavier, knowing that Obito is alive out there and from his view of that night thinks I did break my promise to keep Ren safe. Something else came to me over the past few days at Sadala and, it scares me, sensei. Kakashi said, looking down. That Obito might be the rogue Uchiha who attacked the village a decade ago, Minato said, getting a shock from Kakashi. That thought also came to me as well. Kakashi, I also carry that burden for failing to protect yous during the war. It was my responsibility as your sensei to do that and I failed yous. I'm sorry. Minato said as he shed a tear. Sensei, there's something else you should know about the Saiyans, Kakashi said. What, that they become stronger from battle? Minato said with a laugh, but saw Kakashi wasn't laughing. Were you going to say that these Saiyans can become stronger after fighting? Minato said with a serious voice. When they recover from battle their body adapts, making itself stronger. Sometimes they feel a bit stronger, other times they are much stronger. Also they train their academy students to be Anbu level, Kakashi said. Minato hearing this felt another headache coming. I'll let the council know tomorrow. In the meanwhile enjoy the days off, Kakashi, and don't worry about telling everyone what the job was, giving that Sadala are revealing themselves, you are okay telling people about it. Minato said as Kakashi gave a nod as he left to enjoy the rest of his time off. Fire Nation, Uchiha District. The Uchiha District was also the home of Konoha's police HQ, was giving to the Uchihas as a sign of trust by the second Hokage. However, some of the Uchihas saw this as way of ostracizing the Uchihas from the village and preventing them from having a saying on how to run the village despite them being a founding clan for the village. It was this group that secretly wanted to form a coup d'état and reform the village with them in charge. As Itachi was walking home through the district, he came across his father and brother with shopping in their hands. As he walked towards them, Sasuke saw him and smiled. Brother, when did you get back to the village and where's mother? He said, getting a smile from Itachi. Just a moment ago. However, mother chose to remain in Sadala for the time being, Itachi said, getting a puzzled look from Sasuke. I take they are revealing themselves to the rest of the world from how you mentioned Sadala in public, son, Fugaku said, getting a nod from Itachi. What's Sadala? Sasuke asked. Sadala is another nation that has remained hidden from the rest of the world for nearly 300 years, as it was created by cursed people, but they prefer to be called Saiyans, as a place of refuge from the other nations. Also they have their own shinobis there. Several clans of theirs have connections to our clans here as well. Itachi said. Why did mom remain there and what clans do they have other there? Sasuke said as Itachi looked at his father for permission to reveal Sasuke that he has a twin sister. Sasuke, we'll tell you the reason why your mother has remained there when we get home, I promise. How powerful is Sadala compared to us, Itachi? Fugaku said as Itachi took a moment to think on that answer. Even if we have the other nations backing us, we would lose just to their warriors alone, as their numbers are in the thousands, father. Even then they do have hundreds of Uchihas, Senjus, Hyugas, Uzumakis, and who knows what other clans they have. Itachi said, getting a shock from not only Sasuke and Fugaku but also everyone else listening in on them. What did Itachi just say? That there are other Uchihas out there? Unknown male said. Not just that, but Senjus and Hyugas, female voice said. Don't forget the Uzumakis, male voice said. Wait, how would we lose if their warriors are only in the thousands when we would have the might of the 5 nations on our side? Sasuke said, looking puzzled. Because little brother, just under a week ago we learned that these Saiyans have powers and abilities, one of which is the ability to control their giant ape transformation, and once a Saiyan transforms into one, their power rivals the tailed beasts themselves, and their numbers are over 9,000 inches. Itachi said as Sasuke began to process the information in a look of pure shock. 9,000, how's that possible? Male voice said. Holy shit, female said. And why is mom remaining there? Sasuke said with a shake in his voice. Most likely to get to know your sister, Sasuke, Fugaku said, and immediately closed his mouth as he wanted to tell Sasuke when they got home. Sister. I have a sister, Sasuke said, dropping the shopping he had in his hands, but thankfully Itachi managed to grab them. Fugaku took a deep breath and decided to tell Sasuke here and now. Yes, you have a sister, a twin sister called Satsuki, but she was born cursed, and as the law said, she was put to death peacefully by the head doctor Koji Ito, but unknown to us. But Koji and his previous predecessor, they had an arrangement with Sadala that should a cursed be born in the village, they would call Sadala, who would come and pick them up and bring them back to be raised among their own. Fugaku said, getting a crowd around Itachi as they heard what Fugaku just said. Is my son there, my sister, my brother, my son? The crowd grew to 12 people, bombing Itachi with questions that he didn't know the answer to. Everyone, let my son speak before he goes deaf from your questions, Fugaku yelled at them. Thank you, father. I'm sorry, but their village is bigger than our own, and I don't know if the people you care about are there, but the answer would most likely be yes if they were born in this village at the general hospital, and after arranging a treaty with Sadala, if they are still young you may take them home, but if they are older that will be their decision to make. If you like, please make a list with their names on it and give it to the Hokage, who would pass it to their leader General Mais Uchiha, who is coming here in a few days, maybe more, to finalize the treaty. Itachi said, getting smiles and tears from the crowd as they made their way to the police HQ to make the list. Itachi, how did things go with Satsuki? Fugaku said, getting a smile from Itachi. She was shy at first, hiding behind a friend who helped me and mother connect with her by shoving Satsuki into mother's arms. Also, one of her friends is Naruto, who is alive and is considered a prodigy other there. Itachi said, getting a tear from his father. Itachi, please can you use the transformation jutsu so that He didn't finish that sentence as Itachi performed the jutsu, and once the smoke died down, Fugaku's eyes lit up as he saw his daughter and sister to Sasuke standing in front of him looking like a younger Makoto. As he saw this, more tears came down his face. She looks like her mother, Fugaku said. So that's what my sister looks like, Sasuke said. Don't worry father, I'm sure you'll meet her. The Warriors Academy have a 3-year training course and she's already halfway, and you know about the Saiyan's ability to fly. Itachi said, a shock from Sasuke as Itachi dropped the transformation. They can fly, Sasuke said. Yes, it's a basic ability for them, they use it to patrol their nation, which is several times larger than our own, Itachi said. Come on boys, let's head home and get tea on. I'll probably get another headache tomorrow during the council meeting, Fugaku said. Hopefully now that the news of Sadala is spreading around, maybe my clansmen can talk about something else instead of a revolt. Fugaku thinking to himself, hoping that maybe the return of their children might help calm the clan down. 2 weeks later, Nation of Sadala, General's office. General Mais was busy in her office dealing with paperwork that plagues leaders of all societies in the universe, except Zeno. All hail Zeno, please don't destroy our universe, till she heard a knock at her door. Come in, she said as she finished signing another order for a new mine, which previous mineral results showed a large deposit of silver hiding within the mountains. The door opened, revealing one of her shinobi who had a letter with the Fire Lord's symbol on it. Oh, I take this letter involves Konoha and our treaty, she said. Yes, General ma'am, the shinobi said as he handed her the letter. Mais opened the letter and began reading the contents. General Mais blah blah Fire Daimyo blah 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 invite you to attend a ceremony to officialize this treaty blah blah with a party of 5 + 3 guards including yourself blah blah Konoha and the land of fire blah blah blah. Please find the date below. Also please find that the law regarding cursed, or Saiyan, individuals in Naruto's banishment have been removed. Mais said as she finished reading the letter, which the shinobi and the several who were her guards just sweat dropped as she blah blah read the letter in front of them. The date is in over month, considering we got a whole ocean to cross we should be able to make it at least for humans. I still need 4 people to come with me, they should be Saiyans considering it will let them know that our nation is a safe haven for our kind. Sota Hyuga would be for the Hyuga clan, don't need one for the Uchihas, seeing I would be one doing that and representing our nation that leave 3 more spots to fill. Should probable ask the main clans on who to send to represent us, and then I need someone who knows who might be there as well, but who the only person I now would be. Naruto. Mais thinking is this will be the first time meeting foreign dignitaries. Sparrow, she said as a shinobi dropped in front of her. You called General, Sparrow said even though they wore the same masks, Sparrow was message duty for their shinobis for those who lucked out when it came to job rooster. Yes, please bring Naruto Uzumaki and assemble the council, she said getting a nod from Sparrow who left the room. 90 minutes later, council chambers. General Mais Naruto Uzumaki is waiting outside the door, Sparrow said. Good, open the door for him, she said as the shinobi opened the door letting Naruto in. As he made his to the center of the room everyone saw just how scared he was. Damn it Mais, we could have done this at the Uzumaki compound instead of here, he looks scared, Nat said as everyone nodded to it. Sorry Naruto, you're not in any trouble, okay, it's just this is a first for our nation and well here. She said as she gave Naruto the letter that was sent to her. As Naruto took and read the letter he took a deep breath to calm himself down. Andy was right, we could have done this back at the compound instead of here, Naruto getting a small laugh from the council. And the last time anyone attended a foreign party was me, considering Andy was busy fighting enemy shinobi left and right during her time. Naruto said but immediately regretted it as he felt a deadly aura coming from his aunt. What do you mean my time, my sweet nephew, she said as some chains came from her back. Ah, what do you mean you're still in your 20s are you? Naruto said getting a blush from Nat as the chains went back into her. And don't you forget it, Nat said. Alright, back to this foreign party, they're asking for a party of 5 plus 3 guards, so my advice would be to send people who know when to be formal, polite and to keep themselves in check. Naruto said getting puzzled looks. We understand the formal and polite but what the keeping ourselves in check, spoke Yuko. Well, the last party I had with foreign leaders was when the Tsuchikage came over and my sister nearly started an incident saying that Konoha was the strongest village there was and how weak they were when compared to us. Naruto said as everyone took a moment to register what Naruto said. Ah, got it. We need to remain composed and not let our power get to our heads and start blabbing about how great we are compared to them, spoke Hina. Yes, that, but be careful, they will try to find out any secrets you might be hiding. The best way to avoid that at best would be to avoid drinking alcohol. Naruto said getting nods from them. As for the group heading there, I would suggest sending Saiyans. It would send a message that our nation is a safe place for our kind. Also they've seen what shinobis can do and they placed defenses for it, but they haven't seen what we Saiyans can do, only what they heard from father and his team. Naruto said. Agreed, if we send our shinobis and they try to capture us despite how strong our shinobis, they would have a better chance at capturing our shinobis as they might know how to counter their jutsus, but if we arrived with as group of Saiyans it would difficult for them should they attempt to capture us. It's always easy to prepare for an enemy who you know, but an unknown enemy is a dangerous one. Spoke Fudo getting nods from everyone. Naruto, have you ever the fire daimyo or anyone from the royal and Konoha's council? Mais asked. I've met the fire daimyo once or twice, as the Konoha's council plenty of times, considering my friends over there were their parents and we did get along pretty fine, so much that I know that Lord Hiashi hates the seal that his clan has been practicing and has been trying to remove it, but the elders have been stopping and the incident with Kumo only gave them more evidence to keep the seal in the clan. Naruto said, that's interesting, I thought the main family of that clan over there were all in agreement when it comes to that seal. Hina said getting a negative response from Naruto. No. So far before I left it was Hiashi and his 2 daughters who were opposed to that and a few others, but not enough to change the elders, and like I said before, Kumo gave them more reasons to keep the seal on. Naruto said, okay then, I think it would best if we send not only myself but also Naruto and Nat as well. Any objections to it? Wait, what? Naruto said. Sorry Naruto, but you know most of the players when it comes to them despite our intel and from meeting and befriending their children, you also know how their parents might respond, and for Nat it would be nice for Konoha to apologize for not being there to help them in their time of need, and we need a seal master just in case they decide and somehow manage to put a seal on one of our representatives or our bodyguards. Agreed, everyone said except Nat and Naruto. Good, now then who else do we send for this treaty ceremony? Mais said. Chapter 10, Fire Nation, South Gate of Konoha. Man, it's so boring, why did you choose gate duty this time, spoke Kotetsu Hagane. Because guarding Konoha and the villagers is the best mission you can get, his friend Izumo Kamizuki said. Yeah, but it's so boring, Kotetsu said. Just as Izumo was about to talk back to his friend, he noticed a group of people coming towards them. Kotetsu, stand straight, he said. Come on man, let me chill will you, Kotetsu said. Stand up, we got company and I think it's the delegation from Sadala, Izumo said. Kotetsu turned to see where his partner was looking at. He saw the group coming from the distance heading to Konoha. It was difficult to see what they looked like from the distance but saw at least 6 people in the group. Kotetsu and Izumo immediately moved from their positions from atop the gate to in front of it to intercept the group. I see 6 people. What about you Izumo? Kotetsu said. Same here. Wait, I see 8 people, 2 of them are children. Is that Naruto? Izumo said, getting a slight shock from Kotetsu. Yeah, you're right. Then this is the delegation from Sadala, Kotetsu said as the group came closer for them to hear them. Mom, why did you bring me along again? Spoke a girl that looked like a younger version of the person leading the group. You're here Khalifa because as my daughter you need to learn what to do when these meetings takes place, the older one said. But that sounds lame Mom, Khalifa said. And I thought the reason was because the last time to left Khalifa by herself she started that fight in the shopping district, Naruto said. What, they had an offer on some good fighting gloves that I wanted. It's not my fault that I wasn't the only one interested in it. And why are you here Naruto? Khalifa said. I'm here because I know the players in the meeting that is to take place, and to make sure you don't start any fights, Naruto said as he looked at Khalifa. It's not my fault that I threw the first punch, and besides that offer was driving people craw. Ouch Mom, what was that for? Khalifa said as she receives a bump on the head from her mother. Like mother like daughter, Naruto thinking to himself. Quiet. We've arrived. Greetings, my name is Mais Uchiha, General of Sadala's Armada, Mais said. Greetings and welcome to Konoha. My name is Izumo Kamizuki and my friend here is Kotetsu Hagane. We are Chunins for Konoha. Izumo said as he and Kotetsu bowed politely to the foreign group who bowed back as well. Please, before you enter Konoha we would like sign in, Kotetsu said, getting a puzzled look from the group who looked at Naruto. It's standard procedure at any of the main hidden villages for any foreign diplomats, as it lets the other nations know that their group did arrive or have left in case they go missing. Naruto said, letting the group think for a moment before nodding. Yes, I suppose that would be helpful if something were to happen to their diplomats, spoke Yusuko Amagumo as she was the first to sign in. Thank you, I'll let the Hokage know that you've arrived once yous have signed in, Izumo said as he waited for the group to sign in. After 10 minutes he signaled for any Anbu in the area. A few seconds later, a 3 Anbu appeared before 2 of them wearing dog masks and the last one wearing a cat mask. You require assistance, Cat said. Yes, please inform the Hokage that delegation from Sadala have arrived and here are the sign-in sheets. Oh, would you like to rest before you visit the Hokage? Izumo said. No, we're fine, we've already stayed at an inn down the road before we came here, Mais said, getting a nod from Cat who left. Very well then, please stay with your escorts till you reach the Hokage office, Izumo said, getting a polite bow from group as they left with their escorts. Dude, did you feel the power coming off the general? I do not want to mess with her, Kotetsu said. Tell me about it. It felt like I was facing the 9 tails, Izumo said as he and Kotetsu both shivered. Hokage's office. As Minato was doing paperwork, well, his shadow clones were doing the paperwork as Minato was talking with the elders. Minato, we need to talk about this alliance with Sadala, Homura said. If yous two are going to say the same thing that Danzo said about getting the Senjus, just stop, Minato said. Actually, Homura and I talked it over and we've came to an agreement that taking the Senjus or anyone else over there would be suicide, Koharu said, getting a surprised look from Minato. Explain then, Minato said, wanting to know why as Homura and Koharu would always side with Danzo most of the time. Simple. Sadala is too far away for us to take them by force, and if we do go to war with them we would lose just to their shinobi forces alone, or worse if they sent over their warriors. Just the thought of 9,000 giant apes would scare even the 10 tails, Koharu said. As for Danzo, we believe he might try something when the delegation arrives to make this alliance official. Even though Danzo does care for the village in his own way, we believe that he might try to capture one of them to either program them to his bidding or to get intel out of them, Homura said. And besides, thanks to Lady Tsunade, there's a chance we could get one of their warriors if they wish to come and live here. Because of that we want this alliance to go through. Koharu said. And Danzo Miter definitely will cause some problems. I send a couple of teams of Anbu to watch him and to tell him not to interfere when the delegation arrives. Minato said, getting nods from the elders. A few seconds later Cat appeared in front of them. Lord Hokage, I've come to inform you that the delegation from Sadala have arrived and will be here soon. Here are the sign-in forms from the East Gate, sir. Cat said as she hands over the paperwork. Thank you, Cat. Anyone there you recognize? Minato said, getting a nod from her. Yes, sir. It appears your son is with them, Cat said, getting a shock from Minato. Why would Naruto be with them? He said as he went through the sign-in sheets and saw some names that he recognizes. Cat send word to Lord Hiashi that the delegation from Sadala have arrived and to tell the clan elders to back off, Minato said. Sir, if I may ask why, Cat said. The group have 2 people from the Hyuga clan with them and I think it would a worst case scenario if they leave with the cage bird seal on them, but then again they have Kushina's older sister with them. Minato said, getting some concerned looks from the elders. Understood, sir, Cat said as she left to give word to the Hyugas. Good thinking, Hokage. The Hyuga elders would most likely try something like that in an attempt to protect the Byakugan, Homura said. We may need to send a team to stop them from doing that, Koharu said. No, that won't be necessary. Once Lord Hiashi is informed that our visitors have arrived, he will tell the rest of the clan about this meeting, and besides, the 2 Hyugas from Sadala are Saiyans who have been trained to fight multiple opponents and can fly, so they should have no problem getting away should the Hyugas attempt to put a seal on them. Minato said, getting some nods from the elders. Konoha Shopping District. As the delegation from Sadala were entering the shopping district with their escorts, as it was the shortest route to get to the Hokage's office from the south gate, as the group entered the district they felt curious stares at them. Well, this is a first for me, kind of creepy, spoke Sora with her tan skin, black eyes and shoulder-length hair with her let her tail flow freely, wearing a dark blue kimono with pink flowers and clan symbol on the back. You get used to it. Also, they're just curious, and also, why isn't Kale with us? Naruto said. My mother who should be here, instead she is using her holidays with Kale. Being the clan head of the Hyugas back home takes too much of her time and she wants to get closer to her granddaughter, and sending me on this trip also helps me one day when I take over. Sora said. I should have done the same thing when I had the chance. Oh well, too late now, Amiko said with a sigh. Oh yeah, I just remembered something. Sora, be careful, the Hyuga elders here might try to put the seal on you even though yous are Saiyans, Naruto said. Thank you, Naruto, but don't worry, me and Sota know they will try too, and if they do, they're in for a rude awakening, Sora said as she and Sota made an evil grin on their faces. On just like that, yous two are the only ones to have fun, Aikika said with a bored expression. Beats paperwork, and what is that heavenly smell? Mais said as she left the group and followed her nose. Wait, please stay with the group, their escort said. That won't work. Once mom has a whiff of something or sees something she likes, there's no stopping her, Khalifa said with a sigh. Hussa, that's where you get it from, Naruto said, getting an angry look from Khalifa and some laughs from the group. Shut it, Nar. Wait, what is that smell? Khalifa said as she went in the same direction as her mother, getting more laughs from the group. Wait a minute, I know what's in that direction, Naruto said as the smell came to him as well. Ichiraku ramen, Naruto said as he left as well, and later so did the rest of the group as well, causing their escorts to groan. Damn it, not again. How is that ramen stand doing that? One of the escorts said. I'll go and look after them, you tell the Hokage what's happening, the second escort said as he left to look after them. Hokage office. The escort appeared before Minato and the elders. Forgive the intrusion, but I'm afraid the delegation have been rerouted, and maybe sometime before they arrive, the escort said, getting some puzzled looks from Minato and the elders. What do you mean they've been rerouted? Which gate did they enter? Minato asked. The south gate, sir, the escort said. South gate, which leads through the shopping district. Crap, Minato said as he looked at the clock on the wall. It's noon, that means Ichiraku Ramen is cooking a fresh batch, Minato said with a sigh, as did the elders. And Naruto is with them. I'll head there to meet them, Minato said as he teleported to the ramen stand, leaving the elders in the room. I want to say, how is it possible for that ramen stand to attract anyone but? Homura said. Let's face it, Tsuki Ramen can't be resisted, Koharu said. Ichiraku Ramen stand. As Minato arrived there he saw the group already sitting. General, I see that Tsuki Ramen have ensnared you, Minato said with a smile, causing Mais to turn and face him. Oh Hokage. Sorry, but the smell is just divine and I couldn't resist, Mais said. No need to apologize, his ramen has already captured numerous people not from the village before, Minato said before noticing Naruto. Naruto, it's nice to see you again, Minato said with sadness, but got nothing from Naruto, who ignored him. Geez, Naruto, cut him some slack, he's your dad, besides you already kicked him twice anyway, Khalifa said, getting Minato attention. Thank you, miss, he said. Khalifa Uchiha, this one's daughter, Khalifa said, pointing her thumb to Mais, who simply smiled. Nice to meet you, little lady, Minato said, getting a laugh from Naruto. Ha ha ha, Khalifa a lady, ha 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 ha. Naruto laughed out only to get a kick to the face, but teleported a few feet away at the last second. Did Naruto just teleport? Must be one of their abilities, Minato thought to himself. Naruto was still laughing as Khalifa attempted another kick, but Naruto dodged it as Khalifa launched a dozen kicks at Naruto in a second, who stopped laughing and carefully dodged the attacks till someone shouted. Orders up, Tsuki said, getting Khalifa to stop in the air, and hovered back to her chair with Naruto teleporting back to his and receiving a punch to arm. Hi, no fighting when it comes to food, Naruto said, but only got a smirk instead. Incredible the speed this girl threw her kicks is near Jonin, and Naruto dodged all of it, Minato thought to himself. Delicious, the group said as they enjoyed their ramen. It's just like Tsunade said, these Saiyans are a race of might guys with the destructive power of the tailed beasts. I'm just glad that Homura and Koharu realized that and are in support of this alliance. Minato thought to himself. Minato, what are you doing? Nat, is that you? Kushina said as she saw her husband and her sister, causing them to turn around and look at her, Nat with ramen in her mouth. Cuss. Slurping. Ina. Slurping. Tea. Slurping. Deli. Slurping, Nat said while stuffing her face with ramen and getting a small giggle from her younger sister. Sorry, Kushina, they came in from the south gate, and as they made their way here, well, something else caught their attention. Minato said with a sigh. When she heard the word group, Kushina took a better look at the ramen stand and saw Mais and everyone there minus Nat with tails, including Naruto. Kushina took several steps towards him till she was behind him and gave him a loving hug from behind. Naruto, who noticed who it was from the hug, stopped eating and just looked down. Mom, he said, contain what he was feeling at the moment. Sochi, I'm sorry, I know we should have talked it through with you, and when you're ready I'll be here for you, Kushina said as single tear fell down her face. Naruto kept a calm face but didn't notice that his tail wrapped itself around Kushina, who simply smiled at it, knowing that despite Naruto trying to remain calm in the situation, was trying to reach out. Khalifa, seeing this, turned her head around so that no one can see her own tears at the loving moment between mother and son, but failed as her mother saw her face and simple smiled. Mom, it's nothing, I got something in my eye, okay, she said. And you are just a treat, my sweetie, Mais said, getting a laugh from Tsuki. Mom, it's nothing, I'm not into that lovey-dovey stuff anyway, Khalifa said, getting a laugh from Naruto. Ha ha ha, you lovey-dovey, ha 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 ha. Naruto laughed out only for Khalifa to charge an energy attack from hand, which Kushina, Minato saw, as did everyone else, only to stop charging as she felt her mother's hand on her shoulder. Could that their energy? It's nothing like chakra, both Minato and Kushina thought to themselves. Now sweetie, no fighting and no blowing things up, at least wait till we get home before beating Naruto up, okay, Mais said. Fine, I'm kicking your ass when we get home, Naruto, Khalifa said, but got nothing from Naruto. 5 minutes later. That was heavenly, Mais said. Would you like seconds? Tsuki said. I would gladly ask for 4 bowls of your delicious cooking, but Atlas, I got a meeting with the Hokage here, Mais said. I understand, hope to see you again next time, Tsuki said. "My apologize Minato, let me just pay for the meal and we'll have that meeting," Mais said. "Don't worry about that, I'll handle the bill and I won't take no for an answer, you're our guest here," Minato said. "Thank you Lord Hokage," Mais said. "Please follow me to my office so that we can get this meeting over and you can have the rest of the day to yourselves to take in the sights of our lovely village," Minato said. Hokage office. As the Minato and the delegation arrived in the office, Minato took his place behind his desk while his shadow clones were busy doing his paperwork for him, with Mais giving him a scowl which he said but only smiled. "Sorry but the shadow clones do help in speeding up the process," Minato said as he dispelled the clones. "Now then, thank you for coming to Konoha General Mais," Minato said. "And thank you for allowing us Lord Hokage," Mais said. "The meeting will be quick, I've already got some accommodations in place for the time you and your party will be here, and here is a map of the village in case you get lost," Minato said as he handed Mais the map and the paperwork for the accommodations. "I'll have the same escorts take yous to your hotel where you'll be staying for the time being. Is there anything else you know? Please don't be afraid to ask," Minato said. "When is the treaty signing taking place and where is it?" Mais asked. "The treaty signing will be held in 2 days' time from now. This will give you plenty of time to inform your bodyguards about security arrangements in case anything happens," Minato said, getting a nod from group. "Till then enjoy your stay," Minato said as the group left with their escort to their hotel. "Wait a minute, Naruto, can you stay for a moment?" Minato said, hoping to make amends. Naruto looked at Mais who gave a nod. "Don't worry Naruto, we'll wait outside for you," Mais said as the group left, leaving the father and son alone in the room. "What do you want, Dad?" Naruto said. "Son, I want to apologize for what me and your mother did. We only wanted to protect you and you're right, we should have told you about what was happening and for that there's no excuse for it. I know a simple apology won't do anything good and I only hope that in time we can move forward," Minato said, looking down at his desk as he wanted to give Naruto space, and to avoid another kick. "That's the most annoying thing about time, it somehow manages to heal most wounds if not all. In time I will forgive you, but know this. I belong to Sadala, it's the only place where I feel like myself than I was here," Naruto said as he closed his eyes. "General Mais brought me along to this meeting because I know most of the people who are participating in it," Naruto said as he looked up to his father. "Of course you're my son, you even attended the after party with the Tsuchikage," Minato said with a smile. "Dad, I mean Hokage, is there any chance that the other nations might come after Sadala in the future?" Naruto said, getting a smile from Minato. "Once word gets out about the Uchihas, Senjus and Hyugas your nation has, I'm sure Kumo and probable Iwa might come after you, but seeing that you have their people that Sadala has taken in for their protection, there might be a way to prevent that," Minato said. "For Iwa there might be a way to prevent that, and it's something that the general has asked me to see if it's possible, which I think it is entire possible," Naruto said, getting a puzzled look from his father. "You know Onoki Kamizuru, the current Tsuchikage?" Naruto said. "Yes, what about him?" Minato said. "Well, one of my friends is his granddaughter's twin sister," Naruto said, getting a look of shock from him, but quickly overcame it and quickly came up the reason why Mais asked Naruto, seeing that the Tsuchikage granddaughter Kurosaki and Naruto got along fine. "I see you want me to arrange a meeting between Sadala and Iwa. Why didn't Mais ask me directly?" Minato said. "She's going to after the treaty ceremony, and once that is done she'll ask you and the council for help in forming an alliance, or at best be on good terms with them," Naruto said. "I see, even though Sadala has been around for 300 years, it's been hiding and away from any major conflicts with any nations, and they're asking us for help on that matter as they have no experience in any affairs of the sort," Minato said. "That's why Sadala choose Konoha and its nation for this alliance, because even though it's run by the military they would prefer peace instead of conflict, much like Konoha does," Naruto said. "I understand, and I'll see what I can do to arrange a meeting between Sadala and Iwa," Minato said, getting a slight bow from Naruto. "Thank you Lord Hokage."